Well, this week, Cape Town hosted the Africa Energy Indaba. Professor Maurice Radebe is the head of the Wits Business School and author of book Field to Lead. He has played a pivotal role in the policy and entrepreneurial space, particularly in the petroleum and liquid fuel space since the dawn of democracy. He attended the energy conversation and he joins us now via Zoom. A very good morning to you, Prof, and thanks for making the time.
Thank you very much, Desiree, for having me. Thank you.
Let's backtrack a bit to the genesis of your involvement in the energy space and role that you've played in the formulation of the Energy Charter in South Africa, an important document, and what became of that policy document.
Well, thank you very much to take me down the memory lane. That was the year 2000, many years ago, almost 22 years. And that was a liquid fuels charter. Basically, the essence of the charter was to ensure that the new entrants, at that point in time, new entrants were black entrants like us, Excel, Africa Oil, and many other, TEPCO, and many other players that were entering the market. There were huge barriers to entry, and they were all ingrained in the legislation and regulatory framework. You know, apartheid had a way of ensuring that it's embedded in the regulations. So basically, there was a red plan, which was basically saying, not any black player can enter this place or any new entrant except the multinationals, the big players like Shell, BP, only the multinationals. So the liquid fuels charter was about that, first breaking that and allowing new entrants. The second element of the liquid fuels charter under the leadership of the then Minister Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka was to ensure that 25% of the oil industry in particular is in black hands. And I'm happy to report that all the major oil companies, including Sasol, Shell, BP, they've done 25% deal, are currently owned by the black people. The third one was about ensuring the leadership, I'm talking management control, is in black hands. And I'm happy that even here this week at the Energy Leadership Conference, most of the people who are holding leadership positions in these big organizations are black females, which pleases even me. I mean, Diallo is running BP, Priscilla is the EVP Energy Business of Sasol, Pindile at Central Energy Fund on PASA. So it didn't take 10 years like what we had initially set the target, but we've seen significant improvement in terms of transformation in the oil industry as a result of that liquid fuels charter. Have we arrived? No, the journey is still too long. Just like as Mandela said, you know, when you climb one hill and you look, there's still more other hills to climb. So that's where we are.
Absolutely. Now let's fast forward to the present. On the political front, there's a conversation for a review or a scrapping of administered fuel prices just to ease the burden on South African consumers. What are your thoughts about this conversation?
This conversation is extremely complex, and now one needs to be very careful. We've already deregulated diesel, and because everyone said, look, it needs to be deregulated. But are we seeing price in decrease? No, because there's massive forces which are beyond our control that are impacting on our price. This is the crude price overseas. Nobody can predict whether it's going to go up, it's going to go down. And it's based on BFP, it's based on a number of markers in the world that actually determine that. The second one is obviously our price consists of a number of elements. One is taxes, levies, RAF, and that needs to be balanced because it actually contributes to the fiscus. The third element is one we need to be extremely careful about is the retailer margin. Let me tell you, we need to balance two things in South Africa. One is obviously our consumers are taking a lot of pain in the price increases, but we've got the small and medium enterprises that is well developed, that is service station owners. And one of our policies is to promote small and medium enterprises. If we do not manage this price changes, we can destroy both. We can destroy small businesses, which employ thousands of petrol attendants, and then we could see them out in the street, and at the same time don't get the price increases that we have. So we're going to have a double whammy. My advice is that all stakeholders must get together, look at the complexity. There's no simple answer here, and it should never be ideologically driven. And we should focus on what needs to be done to the best interest of the all the stakeholders.
So, Prof, now you've moved to academia and you head a school where your claim is that you're sculpting global leaders. What's your emphasis at this time when technological advancements and digitization are putting pressure on school curricula to transform?
Absolutely. I mean, we are now, our strategies, the essence of our strategy is to be digital at the core. It means all our operations must be digital, and we're en route to that. All our delivery of learning should be digital. Right now, we are changing all our classrooms to be what we call smart classrooms. In other words, you could be able to have a hybrid classes. Some people will be inside the classes, some will be outside, and we'll have an engagement process. We have employed right now a number of very senior professors, and basically we're on a recruitment drive that will focus on us digital. But at the same time, we want to digitalize our entire curriculum so that when a student come out of our Wits Business School is can be able to take whatever business they're running through the digital transformation journey. We're also focusing on partnership. We're partnering with employers. We're partnering with top institutions. So yeah, digital is at the core.
Let's go back to this energy conversation that took place this week. What was discussed that takes South Africa closer to finding solutions to its challenges? And how does the sentiment that the future is electric impact liquid fuels?
What was really exciting in this conference is that we decided, the main theme was, we Africans need to dictate the transition from high carbon economy to low carbon economy. It must not be dictated by the West and America, because it's so important for us that this transition is inclusive and leaves no one behind. It does not exacerbate poverty and inequality. And one of the main things that we focused on is that we in Africa have discovered gas, massive gas. And pre the war, gas was also labeled as a demon, like coal. And we are saying, no. Gas is a key developmental factor in Africa, and we want to make sure that we extract the gases that we have, and we ourselves make sure that it is used for the development of the economy of Africa. The second one, which is quite an interesting one, is African Energy Bank, which the proposal was put on the table about how do we fund our own transition, because we've been promised by the world that we will get hundreds of billions of dollars in order to be able to transition of energy to climate change. But we haven't seen that.
I just want to come in here and tell you that we're pressed for time. So I'm going to quickly ask you, as a person in leadership, Eskom has a new board that comes on with much expectation. What strategic path would you suggest that the new board take, and what are the takeaways from your book, Fuel to Lead, that makes the book urgent in finding solutions for South Africa's energy crisis?
First of all, I think we need to temper our expectations for the Eskom board. It consists of very good people that have got extreme capability, but the problem is massive. They're not going to change overnight. They're not going to have a magic wand. And let's just be fair to them. But what I would say they need to focus on is about leadership. That's why in my book I talk about fuel to leadership, because leadership is key. They need to make sure that they cast the right vision. Secondly, they must make sure they've got the right people at the right positions. And then make the third thing, they must change the culture. The culture of excellence needs to be instilled back into into Excel, sorry. Into Eskom, sorry. Gee, I'm getting into my old companies. Eskom needs to be entrenched there. It's very, very, very important Because if you don't have a culture of excellence, you're not going to have delivery throughout the entire organization. And hence my plea to them, right people in the right position, culture of excellence, and then deal with making sure that the people have got tools to do their work. And obviously deal with corruption quickly and decisively, and make sure that is removed in that organization. But as I say, please, let's not put too much pressure on them.
Professor Maurice Radebe is the head of school at the Wits Business School and author of the book Fuel to Lead. Thank you so much for your time this morning.